Alright, and welcome back to another one of my little audio production videos. As I said in the last one, I haven't been doing very many of these for quite a while because my interests have been in other areas. But this is something that I do on pretty much a daily basis anymore, which is cleaning up my vocal audio for some of my playthrough videos. Because for some reason, if I just do like commentary within the program itself that I use, like for the wrestling, the AZW videos, it records it just fine, and I can use the built-in utilities that help with volume control and stuff, and it sounds fine. But when I'm recording audio while playing a game, then I always end up with like a grounding hum, and the quality is a lot lower and worse. So it's something to do with the software. So the way you would deal with like a grounding hum is mainly what you're going to be able to get rid of using this technique. You're never going to be able to clean up audio completely unless you have a good recordings to start with. It's just not going to happen. So really what we're dealing with here,
Alright, and welcome back to Fate,
is the grounding hum, which you probably can already hear. So the first thing I do is use a compressor with a voice setting. Then I need to come in here to the analyzer, and you see that that grounding hum is sitting right at around 120 Hertz. It's very noticeable. There's some other artifacting going on down here, but it's not very loud. It's not real irritating. For just a spoken word track, this isn't going to be a big deal. For singing, it might be. But the big problem is this fucking spike, this hum. So what we can do is we've got another equalizer right here. This is a kind of a hard equalizer. So we don't really need any of this bass stuff over here. We can take this and just roll that right off. And then right here on this one, it's a band EQ, 120 gain, nothing. Infinite, and oh, where did it go? The hum is gone. So we just basically EQ'd that motherfucker right out. And then everything else, you know, there's other presets in here for vocals, but don't really need to do anything about that. Mainly, you might want to, I believe, you need to check and see where your personal vocal range is, where your highs and lows are hitting. But for me, usually just a spike somewhere around 2000-ish. Well, maybe not quite that far, maybe more like 1500-ish, like right in somewhere along in here. I usually do a little bit of a boost, and then right down here at around 500, because that's where, at least for me, that seems to be where my main vocal range hits. Might be true for everyone, I'm not sure. So just little bits like that, and then again just a little bit of extra roll off on the deep end that don't really need all this low end crap in here, and just a little bit of touch on there, and then the rest of it, all I'd do is go in and see where my vocals are hitting the lowest or the highest volume, and then turn it up. And that's really all there is to it. Actually, I probably would go ahead and stick in another compressor. It would be like the Endorphin. It's kind of like mastering audio, really. Once you get rid of that hum, it's just a matter of turning up the vocals so that they're easier to hear and work with. So I think that covers everything that's really important. Like if you have all this artifacting in here, you can, instead of turning up certain bands, you can kind of get rid of them, but then you'll start finding weird qualities popping out in the vocals, which is just because you're cutting out frequencies of the vocal range. But the important thing is that people can understand you and not end up with like a headache from weird, like the hums and the artifacts and stuff. So even if your voice sounds hollow or kind of strange, as long as you're understandable and you're not messing with people's heads, in a negative way, then I say that that's pretty much okay. But, this stuff is not very loud, so for just a spoken word track, it's not that big a deal to me, as long as it's not getting real irritating. So that's cleaning up your audio, the quick and dirty version. I'm sure there's other ways to do it, but this is how I do it. So thanks for watching. This has been Ryan Acid Heads Murphy. I'll see you on the next one. Bye, bye, bye.